Today we're going to talk about abstract art. Have you ever heard the term abstract art or non-objective or non-representational art before? I know these sound like big words. All of these mean that it doesn't look real. That's all that they mean. Realistic things, or realism, attempts to make objects or paintings or sculptures or any art form that resembles something in real life or close to something in real life. For example, I previously made this frog head out of Model Magic, and while it doesn't look exactly like a frog does in nature, you can look at it and it pretty much looks like a frog head. It's kind of abstracted because they made it look a little unusual and a little unique, not really like it's seen in nature. Kind of cartoonish. Well, today we're doing non-representational or non-objective art, which means we don't want it to look like anything real at all. So what I've done to prepare for this project is I've taken a package of white Model Magic clay and I've dyed it different colors using a variety of Crayola markers. I have another demonstration in which I show you how to dye your white Model Magic, but I'll refresh you right now. You take white Model Magic, you take a washable marker, don't use permanent markers, and you just poke it. You poke it and you poke it and you poke it and you poke it many, many times, and then you mush it together, and gradually the whole thing turns the color that you're trying to dye it. It may look pastel or light in tone at first, but then the more color you add to it from your marker, the darker the Model Magic gets. So I've created 5 different colors: pink, purple, blue, orange, and green. Now, for my abstract art project, sometimes it's really difficult to think of what to do because you don't want to make it look like anything in real life. So instead of just piling everything together and saying, I'm done, we want to think about the forms that we create. And careful, when you touch Model Magic, it sticks. So I'm going to make different kinds of forms and then attach them together in a sculptural way. Let's see, I think with my green, I'm going to make a coil shape. So to make a coil shape, I squeeze it with my hands, I put it on the table, I use my fingers, and I press down and roll it back and forth, and then move my hands apart from one another, and I make a coil or snake shape. Check it out. Alright, so I'm going to use that for something. I think with the pink, I'm going to make little round spheres, little balls. So you put it in your palm and you roll it with the other hand in a circular motion like this until you get a ball. I think I want to make a few of those. They don't have to be the same size because remember, we're not making it look like anything real. Like I said, sometimes it's difficult to make abstract art because immediately we find the desire to make our art resemble something in real life. Say we want to make a puppy, or we want to make a chair or a cow or a sunshine or a house or our picture of ourselves or our mom or dad. But abstract or non-representational, non-objective art doesn't look like anything at all. So I'm going to continue to make different forms. Maybe I want to make my purple one really flat. Put it against the table and flatten it out with the pads of my fingers. You can even roll it with a marker. It shouldn't stick to your table, but if your mom wants you to put some kind of protective vinyl tablecloth or wax paper down first, might be a good idea. Mom or dad or whoever's watching you, do this art project. So let's see. I made different kinds of forms. I made a coil, a slab or flat piece, spheres or balls. Let's see, this, I think I want to make some funky kind of twisted shape. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to twist it. Model Magic looks really cool when it's twisted. Check that out. Okay, that's pretty funky. Now what do I want to do with this? I think I want to make a bowl shape. So I'm going to make a pinch pot. I stick my thumb in the middle and press down. Then I get my pinchers ready, put my thumb in the middle and my fingers on the outside, pinch and turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn, pinch, turn. I continue this while holding it in the palm of my hand to make a pinch pot or a bowl shape. There we go. All right, look at all those forms. Now, I think I'm going to pile them together. So, maybe I want this to be a kind of, maybe like a mound. Let's make that be a mound, okay? Then, ooh, let's put it on the purple. Boop. And then I'm going to put this guy on the side. And remember, it doesn't have to look like anything at all. I'm going to stick some spheres to this. The cool thing about Model Magic is that it adheres to itself or sticks, so you don't need any, you don't need to scratch it or squirt or apply any glue. It just sticks. Watch that. Look, it's stuck already. And then with this thing, I'm going to make some wavy lines by sticking it and turning it and sticking it and turning it. Well, that looks pretty cool. And it really doesn't look like anything in real life. At least nothing that I can think of. It's pretty interesting to look at as I turn it around in my hands. I just made a non-objective or non-representational sculpture. That's really neat. I think I'm going to sit that on my desk. Now this should be dry by tomorrow. Usually takes a day to fully dry. It won't get hard or heavy, but it will not be able to be molded into anything new once it dries. Why don't you make some colored Model Magic, or use colored Model Magic if you buy it that way from the store, and create an abstract or non-representational or non-objective sculpture of your own. It doesn't have to look like mine. I want you to make your own unique creation. Have fun!